Learn about the water cycle, you guys. Check out, what is the water cycle? And that's how the water that comes down on the rain and it flows across the top of this field. It also flows down and infiltrates into the soil, and then there's rows of tile that have been buried in the field. And then the water is kind of designed to go certain places, but here the surface water is cutting a rill or a valley into this slope. There's the creek. So look at the slope and imagine if 5.5 inches of rain fell in 1 hour. It wouldn't have a chance to soak into the ground. It would come washing down over here and flooding, and then all of a sudden at the edge of the field it really drops off fast. So now the water starts picking up speed, and then you get down here and we got a creek, or not a creek, a seep spring coming out of the base of that tree, Ross.
Yep, right from underneath the tree here.
And see the roots?
And then that's slowly eroding.
And see that lovely water? But there's leaves there, and it's just going slow, but when you have those heavy rain events and so much rain just flooding down from the sky all at once, then you have issues. So here's the water seeping and oozing like they call it a seep, right out of the ground below the field. And the water is going down this valley. Look at the skunk cabbage coming up. The spring flowers have started, the bloodroots and the hepaticas. And there's the creek down below there. I don't know if you can see very well. The sun is catching the water. And then that New Biggin Creek, it flows into the Thames River. Big round. I got some good shots from a drone I'll show you when they're organized. So the top of the field is up there, and those tiles that are buried in the field, see that black pipe over there? So the water is coming out, but the black pipe stops right there, and then the water gushes out. And the only trouble with that, now the water still has to flow down the steep part. You see how this is quite deep. I don't know whether you can get the 3 dimensions of it. And there's the creek down below. So the water runs on the surface, and it takes the soil with it and makes this ravine deeper and deeper and deeper. Maybe if that pipe full of water went all the way down and kept the water inside the pipe and then released into the creek, that might have been a better idea, eh? So we're going down that, following the water down. Is that the trail that the deer go on?
Yeah. Oh, it's so nice, so peaceful.
And there's the place where the boys like to play down right there. That's a great spot when it's hot. So here's something else I want to show you with the water. It's quite flat here, this field, and then we cropped right up to the edge where it drops to the creek, and it's a very steep drop, and it's so steep that the whole top layer of soil and maybe subsoil with the trees growing in it and the seeps in the water underneath, the whole thing has slumped. So check this out. What do you see there? A big old monstrous oak tree. But look, see, there's a Y in it where it's split, but look at this. Why is there a split at the very base of the oak tree where the trunk meets the root at the ground? Well, the whole thing slumped. The whole side of the hill moved. And you can see how far it is. It's at least 7 or 8 feet gap. It split that trunk in two. So why did the oak trunk split, Ross? There's springs?
The springs are washing this bank, eroding this bank.
So do you think those springs are the ends of tiles that are just coming out, or is that groundwater that's infiltrated?
No, I believe it's groundwater.
Yeah.
You can see, actually, you know what, from down here you can see the different layers of the
Ah,
soil, you know, all those.
so here's our split oak trunk. Look at that nice little play area in there. But it's wet because the spring, the water is coming out right there. And then what do you see here, Ross?
Well, as I went to take a look to see how high up the oak tree that split went, I noticed that the tree beside, the hackberry tree beside, is growing right around the oak. It's almost like it's helping to hold the oak up there.
Wow, it's wrapped, and look at the grapevine is wrapped around too.
Yeah.
Huh. So that's a hackberry on the left, and then the oak tree.
Can you see how the neat bark on the hackberry?
Oh yeah, I don't know whether they... There you go, it's a cool pattern.
Yeah. Play.
Sand at the top, because this whole thing has slumped away and exposed the topsoil. You know, here, there's layers, topsoil, subsoil, and it changes. There's years and years of buildup to create that topsoil. So sometimes the groundwater just oozes right out of the side of the hill here.